I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, son of a
That's all right, I'm just being.
He's wearing a Stetson made of saran wrap.
Nice sweater, though.
Thank you, thank you.
It's not weird sweater night.
When I found out I was a poet, I had to buy new clothes. My first one is cannon fodder. Does everybody here know what cannon fodder is? Cannon fodder is when you're in the service and you never raise your hand when you never volunteer. That's one of the first things. And if you hear somebody say something like, Rodriguez, you and Johnson take that red-headed fella and create a diversionary tactic. In other words, you walk out, so you make a mess, somebody's walking along and whistling, and they shoot at you, and that's how you know where the enemy's at. You are a loss, most likely you'll be blown away, or maybe you volunteered like an idiot and said, send me, send me. That's what cannon fodder is, acceptable losses, it's called, something like that. So that's what this one's about. I gotta think for a moment. Sometimes I get anxious and I just can't wait. And sometimes I think that Jesus is running a little late. And sometimes I wonder what I'm supposed to do while I'm here on earth with you. I can't wait for the Savior on my bended knee. I can't wait for the Savior to come and rescue me. I can't wait on the Savior. I know it's up to me to be what I can be. Well, we all know the Savior. He's got a job to do. And when he gets here, the world will be renewed. You can run and duck for cover and bury up your head. But don't forget what the good book said. And it said, we got to save the elephants and the kangaroos. We got to save the chipmunks and the cockatoos. We got to save the rhinoceros and the platypus duck. Because if we don't, we'll be fucked. So I ain't the Savior, and I ain't the Savior's son. But I'll do the saving till the Savior comes. And when the Savior gets here, he'll be overjoyed, even if he's unemployed. I started out on the wrong one. I'm sorry. The next one, my timing is all off. And, I got to dig here just for a moment. Yeah. I signed up today. I threw it all away. And I picked up my sword. And I joined the army of the Lord. I look down to the ground when there's titties around, because I know that I'll have to pay. Rule number 1, you can't have no fun when you're cannon fodder in the army of the Lord. I go to work every day in my beat-up Chevrolet, because I gave all my money to the poor. Rule number 2, you're going to be used when you're cannon fodder in the army of the Lord. I look up to the meek, and I turn my cheek, and I always take the raw end of a deal. Rule number 3, you'll wear out your knees when you're cannon fodder in the army of the Lord. That's it.